X-Acto knife safety, part 3. When using an X-Acto knife, you should always pull the knife back toward you so that the blade tip is pointing away from you. So again, when you're cutting, keep your fingers out of the path of the cutter, so I would never put my thumb back here like this. Keep your fingers, body parts away from the path of the cutter and pull back towards you like this. Okay, again, back towards you like that. When your X-Acto knife is not in your hand, it should be in the holder, blade side down. When cutting wider materials, such as this piece of cardboard or a wide piece of balsa wood, you're going to be using the tip of your X-Acto knife to do the cutting, like so. If you're cutting a straight line, you'll use a ruler to guide the path of the cutter, in other words, the path of the X-Acto knife. Press down firmly on the ruler, and in this case here it's not really a ruler, it's a wide straight edge. Notice that you're not going to keep any body parts over the path of the cutter, and the path of the cutter is going to be the wide straight edge here. So you'd never stick a thumb out or a finger out like that. Put this part of your hand on the cutting board or on the material that you're cutting with the tip pointing away from you, always away from you, never tip towards you. You're going to pull the X-Acto knife right along the path of the cutter. You never want to force the X-Acto knife, as this could lead to an injury. If your X-Acto knife is not sharp, and notice that I'm having to make multiple passes here, but if your X-Acto knife is not sharp, you're going to put the X-Acto knife back in the holder and I will replace the blade for you. Never walk around the room with the X-Acto knife out of the holder. Again, it should always be in the holder like that, blade side down. When you're cutting balsa wood, wider pieces of balsa wood, like this 3-inch wide piece of balsa wood, you're going to follow the same procedure, and you're using the tip to do this. And again, probably going to have to make multiple passes. Don't press down too hard, don't force it. Let the knife do the cutting for you. If you're cutting narrower materials, such as these 2 pieces of balsa wood, unless you're doing something for pre-engineering and cutting special joints, you're not going to use the tip of the cutter. You're going to use this part of the blade right in here to cut. So your cutting will look something like this. I put my blade right on the X-Acto knife, and notice how you can see the back side of the blade, it's straight up and down. If your X-Acto knife is like this, alright, and you notice that you can see much more of the X-Acto knife than in this position, you're going to cut at an angle which more than likely will not be good. So take and rock the blade back and forth like this until you cut through. You may have to put a finger over here like this to help press it down a little bit if you have a tough piece of balsa wood. Okay, and again, this is probably a little easier to see because of the color of the wood. But notice that you can just barely see the thin backside of the blade. And certainly never put your finger there because it may be a little bit sharp too, but nowhere near as sharp as the front of the blade. And again, you're going to be rocking back and forth like that. When the X-Acto knife is not in your hand, where should it be? You're right, in the holder, blade side down.